Welcome to the last game between, in the yellow, Twizzy versus, in the red, Khanomancer. It's their best of 5 and I somehow missed this match. And you know what? I can do you one better. I'm pretty sure I even don't recognize it. So I probably completely missed it. Anyways, we've got a GDI for Twizzy versus Nod for Khanomancer. Just some grenadiers going out. There is the first officer. And this is on Split Ends V3, a map we really haven't seen that often in the tournament. Two small little balls of Tiberium at the base. Great scouting, or at least decent scouting, coming in for Twizzy, whose harvesters are more efficient, should be more efficient, than those for Khanomancer. So, Orca out on this side, Apache out on the other. Now it's 2-1. And before we really get going, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the channel, because in case I miss another game, that way you don't miss it if I actually do upload it at a later date. Wow! Anyways, flamethrower is now moving in. Triple Orca, what does Khanomancer know? Nothing. Twizzy knows about the base a little bit, but not all that much. Getting close here and getting shot on that construction yard. Out. A little bit of scouting and ooh, there it goes. Right, Twizzy, you've only got 2 little barracks. And you've got Triple Orca. Versus Airstrip, which can produce bikes, which counters Orca pretty good. Hand of Nod, construction yard, and an Apache. Apache cleans up the infantry, and bikes could clean up all of that, all of those units. But now, actually, artillery coming out and light tanks. This might be the weirdest thing. Light tanks, when there are no vehicles from the enemy. And, well, there come all of the orcas. And there is no anti-air. I really expected bikes. But no, Khanomancer actually just went light tank and artillery. Artillery against the infantry does make some sense. But like the light tank, yeah, it can hit the orcas if they're on the pad, or just sitting down next to the pad. But they get countered. Like the light tank gets countered by Orca. Just like Orca is good against medium tank. I don't really get it. But still, I mean, Khanomancer does still have their construction yard. So that's very nice. Does have double Apache now, so we'll be able to take Twizzy into low power. And enough that they actually just can't repair that. Minus 30 power, so their production has been slowed down. But as you can also see, well, because of the extra efficiency, Twizzy is still a little bit ahead in terms of eco, and that's a dead construction yard. Goodbye. Now what do you have? Khanomancer does have some anti-air in the rocket soldiers. They do have double Apache, which is able to clean up the infantry pretty well. And of course they can get flamethrowers, which also work. But you really are in a bit of a pickle now. Yeah, sure. You don't have vehicles, you can't produce any vehicles, or no airstrip. And just looking at the number of orcas, yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get all of them filled up with their ammo. But once they do, I mean, they can take down the Apaches, since they are anti-air. That's 1200 value lost. Apache can't hit the orcas. And rocket soldiers just are not that great. Normally, Nod has anti-air, they've got SAM sights, bikes. But those are not actually going to be part of this match. And just rocket soldiers and double hand of Nod and a single helipad against one of the better players in the tournament. That is very difficult. Flamethrower getting some pretty decent shots off. There it goes. Three grenadiers to 1. But now, if that helipad goes down, you only have infantry. Against someone who's going to snipe every building you've got. Not the best thing. And in just a pure grenadier versus flamethrower fight, I would prefer to have grenadiers. So, same production, pretty much the same eco. Though, of course, production for Twizzy is slightly slowed down, though by selling off some helipads, they could, of course, get that back on track. But actually, Khanomancer is still, well, harassing a little bit, getting more power plant shots off, getting some kills over there. KD really isn't that bad. But there goes half of your production. And you had cash in the bank, so it's not as if you really, couldn't like keep it up. You really could use that Hand of Nod. And Khanomancer here with like double choke point is pretty easy to defend, and they don't really have to move out of the base very soon because they run out of Tiberium. That's not really happening, and they can just go over in order to snipe buildings. If the production is gone for Khanomancer, then it's pretty over. So they have to defend that somehow. And where are their rocket soldiers? They aren't good, but they are necessary. They're not here, and that means no more production. You're up against like 7? Yeah, 7 orcas, and still double barrack production. With a total of, that is 10? 11. 11 flamethrowers and 1 minigunner. Maybe 2. Yeah, 2 minigunners. I don't see it happening, but if these units are able to take down all of the production, maybe? I mean, orcas are not exactly good against infantry. So that is still a chance, of course that is. There goes the orcas sniping a, well, harvester, including the refinery. Does mean that Khanomancer has now more forces. They've got 2 more minigunners. And you know what? It would be really nice to just see Khanomancer move their harvester forwards, just using it offensively. Just because you can't spend the cash. So what's the point? You don't even have the, like, the storage, so it's actually just full on wasted. And the game has sped up, but let's just say we know what's going to happen. We already knew that Twizzy won this, because they won the other 2 games. So, well done that you made it this far into the video. Consider watching the video in your lower left, but that's all I'm going to have for you today, and I'll see you in another video. Bye. Better eco for Twizzy. Just that little bit of extra efficiency. Though that's not what won them the game.